This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Good afternoon, Charlie. How's it going, sir?
No, it's going fine. You're coming in 9 plus 20 on a rainy afternoon. Rainy afternoon here. Temperature's up around 45 degrees. Normal high is 23 and it's 45. And reducing our snow a little bit. We're down to just about a foot and a half on the ground. By the way, I did work with Jim, WA3FET, and he worked with me with his 7300 and tried to tailor up my audio. I'm just wondering how I sound. I was off on the audio. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. It sounds a little brighter on the top end, and that helps out immensely for the, the enunciation, and that's what important frequency for, being able to copy words. The articulation is all in that top end, pretty much. Roger, Roger.
Oh yeah, Roger on that. I'd like to try play back just a few seconds of recording. I think that may have helped that also. And here is a recording of your voice. Let me know if this is coming through. Wait a minute, here it is. The enunciation, and that's what important frequency for being able to copy words. The articulation is all in that top end, pretty much. Roger, Roger. Okay, did that come through okay, Jim? Go ahead.
Oh, excellent, Charlie. Excellent. We're going to do well this afternoon. I hope. I hope the conditional gods are with us this afternoon. Roger.
Oh yeah, I won't hold it too long. I kind of ran out of stories. I think I used them all up. In the last 8 sessions, so to speak. But you're coming in clear as a bell. You're right here in the room, and as I look out the window right now, it sure is lousy out there. It is light, steady rain coming down and southeast wind. So I'll turn it right back to you, and thank you very much for the report. KC9 Victor King Victor at K1GZL.
Roger. Last transmission, you were a good 12 dB over my noise level. You were 12 dB over my residual noise level. So that's a real good signal. Roger.
Okay, well, Roger, Jim, I'll sign with you on this one. There's probably many stations that would like to get an audio report, but you're doing a tremendous job up here. And normally it's the shorter skip that is strongest, but we're still quite a distance considering the time of day, although sunset here is in about 35 minutes. 35 minutes to sunshine here on the 21st of December at 3:31 in the afternoon. So I'll sign with you, Jim, and I want to thank you very much. I'll try to get on next week. Whoops, there goes my voice right now. KC9VKV, K1GZL. And I'm running about 800 out, about 3.5 to 1 SWR.
Roger, Charlie. Looking at your audio on my spectrum analyzer, and you have a healthy group of numbers up in the 2 to 3 K range. So that's beautiful. Thank you very much, sir. And we'll see you next week. This is KC9VKV, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program. We Aircheck record from 3:30 till 5 Eastern, and then we put it up on YouTube, so everybody can come to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. And that'll take you to our QSO-VLOG page, and right on our QSO-VLOG page you'll find one of the sessions entitled My Group Aircheck 122118. My Group Aircheck 122118, and that'll be this one. So if you have a radio you want to check out the audio to see what it sounds like, give me a call. It's KC9VKV.
KC9VKV, KC9VKV,
WHCRH or something?
Whiskey 8 Charlie Romeo Hotel.
Whiskey 8 Whiskey Romeo Hotel, is that a Roger?
Whiskey 8 Charlie Romeo Hotel. Whiskey 8, can't remember how.
Oh, Roger. All righty. Just a little bit of noise, but I got you now. This is KC9VKV. How you doing this afternoon?
Good, good. I'm Steve, Sierra Tango Easy Victor Easy, located in Michigan, Upper Michigan, Lower Peninsula. And right here's a K3, P3, KPA 500, and KAT 500. And the antenna is a W8CT. It's a friend of mine. Designed and built me a quarter wave gamma match on 40, and that's what we're using. And I'm copying you at about between 15 and 20 over, sir. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. Well, we're doing pretty well. You know, we're doing this whole thing at 10:30 in the morning, and a lot of our 100-watt friends were coming in at 1 and 2 dB above our noise level. So we did decide that we were going to give it a shot in the afternoon to see if we could get our 100-watt friends a little better signals to record, so they can, you know, be able to check out their audio. Your audio, incidentally, is just beautiful, Roger, Roger.
Well, thank you, sir. I'm running just a hand microphone with the K3 and showing 427 watts on voice speech right this instant. So, yeah, it's nice to know. And I'll have to look up your site and see what I sound like. Always love to hear. I wanted to be thinking about changing microphones, but this little hand mic does such a nice job that I get such good audio reports. You're a solid 20 over right now, sir. I missed your handle. Go ahead, sir.
Roger. Name here is Jim, Juliet India Mike, and we're located just across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky, on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. And let me see if I can be clairvoyant now. Oh, it's coming to me. It's coming to me. That hand mic you're using, the hand mic you're using, is a condenser hand mic. Is that a Roger?
That's correct. Yeah, it's the MH4 condenser mic from Elecraft. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. I mean, the articulation level, syllabic range, just a beautiful microphone. The condenser is, and it's an ideal microphone for ham radio. It just brightens the whole thing up, and you know, it just takes the doldrums right off. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Enhances the highs, it seems, and just so very, very clear. That's what people like about it. Well, I'll let you go, Jim. I appreciate the comeback, and I'll get a chance to see what the audio sounds like. But I'm from a little place called Everett, Michigan. We're so far out in the pucker brush, we got to pump sunlight back to us. But we do enjoy getting on the rig every now and then. I think we were 4 contacts yesterday, and the colder it gets and the more snow it gets, the more I got to throw a log on the fire and play with radios. So I'll let you go, Jim. Thanks very much for the comeback, and I'll check it out and see how we're doing. So you have a good day, and I'll let you go on there and give some other guys some reports, and they can check their audio later this evening. So KC9VKV, WHCRH, Whiskey 8, can't remember how, in Michigan, and very best 73s, and have a very Merry Christmas, sir.
Roger, Roger, Steve. 3 set away, sir. Sounding beautiful. Be sure and check in next Friday. I love to copy a signal like yours. So threes for now. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program where we record Aircheck from 3:30 till 5 Eastern, and then upload it to YouTube so you can come along and check out your audio if you're interested in what your radio sounds like. This is KC9VKV.
KC9VKV from Delta Uniform, WHAS.
The Delta Uniform station come back with a phonetic call sign again.
Yeah, this is Whiskey number 8 Delta.
Okay, did take a little fade there. I got Whiskey 8 Delta Uniform. Is that it, Roger?
That's it. And the name here is Artie. Alpha Radio November India Echo, Artie, located near Detroit. Over.
Roger, Roger. And what radio are you running, sir?
Yeah, I'm using a ICOM 7100, the backup radio, so I would be interested in a report, and I'll try to listen to your recording. If you would give me your call sign and phonetics to make sure I have the correct call sign to look for on YouTube. Anyway, we're having a winter day here. No snow yet, but who knows what's going to come down. It's kind of gray and cold, of course. Anyway, back to you and KC9VKV, is it? This is WHAS.
Roger, Roger. Call is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. This is Jim, Juliet India Mike, and we're located near Louisville, Kentucky. And just listening to your audio now, gosh, I wish you had a windscreen. I see a windscreen coming in your future. Roger, Roger.
Yeah, it could be. I'm just using the standard hand mic, and maybe I was talking it too close. But we do have some other mics here. I don't have the right plugger on it yet to put it into this 7100. My usual radio is a non-Apache lab 7000 GLE. I've got a nice Heil mic for that. You can put some reports of that. But I was interested to see how this thing was doing since my Anon is now on its way to be repaired. We had a problem with it that needs to be repaired by the factory technician. So that's the story on that. Jim, over.
Roger, Roger that. Well, I hope it has a speedy recovery. Now, I'll give you a suggestion on how to work that mic to minimize the problems with the mic. And, you know, it's got plosives and transients that are plaguing it right now. If you'll take that mic, put it in the corner of your mouth, and talk across it. Do not talk straight into it, but put it in the corner of your mouth and talk across it. Roger?
Okay, I'm going to try that. I've got it kind of perpendicular to my mouth. Is that what you're indicating?
Oh, yes, sir. Now, yeah. Oh, you're beautiful. Absolutely perfect now, Roger.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for that suggestion. That's certainly easy enough to implement. And now you can remember to hold it that way. Actually, pretty comfortable way to hold it, so I appreciate that easy fix.
All right, and now the next thing, do you know how to get to your ALC meter?
I have to look that one up. This thing has, as you probably know, has menus upon menus, so I'd have to look that one up in the book.
Okay, remember to keep working that mic on the side of your mouth, not directly into it, Roger?
Okay, Roger, Roger.
Okay, now when you get to your ALC, when you find out where it is, what you want to do is get your mic volume control and bring it up or down, whatever you need to do to put that ALC reading mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 deflection on the ALC meter. Roger, Roger?
Roger, Roger. Got that. Yeah, it's just deflecting a little higher than that now. But I can do that, over.
Oh, that's fine. You know, close enough. You know, it's not distorting. So you know, that's the beautiful thing. And when you do work your microphone there in the corner of your mouth, when you were really dominant signal, I could hear that the equalization was just perfect. Roger.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, and it's good to know that I'm not too far off base.
Roger, Roger. And give me your call sign one more time phonetically.
Sure. The call is Whiskey 8 Delta Uniform WA Denmark United LUA 30 underwear.
Gosh, I get the same thing. W8D Delta and United, and what is between those two?
A bunch of air.
I'm sorry?
Just a bunch of air.
Oh, W8DU, is that a Roger?
USL.
Alrighty, and the name, please.
Yeah, the name is Arnie, Alpha, Radio, November, India, Echo. Arnie, over.
I got you, Arnie. Very good, sir. And so we'll be uploading this within the next couple of days. So if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, you'll find a session that's marked My Group Aircheck, dated 12/21/18. My Group Aircheck 12/21/18. Roger, Roger.
Roger. Thank you very much, Jim. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you taking the effort to do this for us. It's also good for us. It's clean and clean signals and the best audio and SRF that we can. I do appreciate it, and I want to wish you and your family all the best for the holidays. That's KC9VKV and DKV. KC9VKV. This is FE3TU 1073. Thanks again for the help.
Roger, Arnie. No problem at all, sir. Glad to do it there. And we had somebody tuning up on the frequency. Whoever and wherever, it's not a good idea, not polite to tune up on a frequency that's in service. You might want to go up or down the band 4 or 5 clicks and do that. But not on an operating frequency. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program. We air check record from 3:30 till 5 Eastern, and then post it up on YouTube in a couple of days, so everybody can come along to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and that'll take you to the QSO-VLOG page, and on that page there'll be a session entitled My Group Aircheck 12/21/18. This session is My Group Aircheck 12/21/18. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. I have a couple coming back, but they're towards my noise level. Did have a couple coming back, but they're towards my noise level. If you want to try again, go ahead. This is KC9VKV. You're right at my noise level. Actually, you're under my noise level. My meter was not moving at all. So maybe later on conditions will shift around a little bit. And I'll give you an example. Let me bump off here, a kilowatt, go down to 100 watts. This is 100 watts, so this is pretty much, if you're running 100, this is pretty much what you sound like to me. We're in the area. Okay, we're back to the KW now. Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. Anybody want to check out their audio? Give me a call.
Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, Whiskey 3, Alpha Bravo Juliet.
Whiskey 3, Alpha Bravo Juliet. Gosh, you bent my needle. Good signal, good audio, Roger.
Roger that, thank you. I'm running a brand new ICOM 7300. Just getting things set up with it. Wondering how the audio sound, Roger.
Well, now see, you were in such a hurry to take that hand mic off and get the desk mic on, right?
Copy that. I'm running the ICOM SM50 desk mic.
Roger, Roger. Well, you're going to have to do a little EQ on the upper end to match the hand mic that came stock with your radio. The hand mic that came stock with your radio is a condenser microphone, and it was specifically designed to show off your 7300 because of its great articulation and syllabic range, the ability of that condenser to capture your articulation and to bring it forth through the magic of electronics and whatnot and where not. But so what I would suggest, do you know where your EQ is on your radio?
That's negative. I would have to dig out the manual. This radio is brand new to me.
All right. Well, let me, do you have a pencil and paper?
Roger that.
Okay, what I would suggest would be to bring your top-end EQ. Now, you've got two-band EQ, not three-band. Is that a Roger, or do you know?
I do not know.
Okay, I believe that 7300 has a two-band EQ. So what you want to do on the top end EQ is plus that EQ about half of its capabilities. If it's a 0 to 5, take it to a 3. If it's a 0 to 5 boost on the top end, take it to 3. And that should help duplicate the sound that you would get naturally off of your condenser stock hand mic. Roger?
Roger that. I do have the compression off, and I did tweak with the bass and that a little bit. Last QSO I had, the gentleman said I was a little too heavy on the bass.
Are you still running like you had it?
No, I tweaked the bass and the treble down a bit. I don't know what my settings are right now. I'd have to get back into that.
Roger that. Well, the other thing is that you want to run that radio in the widest width that they got. I mean, there's no sense you pay good money for that radio. You run it. You don't need to run it in a compromised width. Run it full width, whatever it is, 3K. Roger?
Roger.
And that will help out any problems you may have in the top end, because if you're running it in less than full, then you start reducing your top end articulation. So run it in the widest form that you have, and then, like I say, what I would suggest, talk to me some more. You're sounding better.
Yeah, is it coming in a little bit better there? I haven't tweaked anything since we've started working here. But like I said, last QSO I had a week or so ago, the gentleman said my bass is pretty heavy, so I backed it a little bit. And I've been running it this way. And I checked my audio with the monitor feature on here, but it doesn't really give you a true feedback. I was just wondering how things were sounding. Roger.
Roger. Well, I'm looking at you on a spectrum analyzer, and I'm showing a little deficiency in the upper end of your audio spectrum capabilities. So I think if you go to 3 on the top end EQ, that should help your articulation and the brightness of your sound. And then the bottom end looks fairly flat. So I think if you do crank in that top end EQ, I think you'll be leaps and bounds ahead. Roger?
Roger that. Thank you so much.
Roger that. Now, what are you running on your compressor?
I have the compression turned off at this point.
Do you know how to get to your ALC?
Let's see if I can get to it from the screen here.
This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program where you Aircheck record from 3:30 till 5, posted on YouTube, and then you can hear what you sound like. I can. If you still got that pad and pencil, I'll give you some gophers there.
Yeah, roger that. I still have the pad and pencil here.
All right, on your compressor, you want to be tasteful about it, but you want to use it to further reduce your dynamic range. Dynamic range is the amount of fatness that your audio signal becomes as you start to reduce the dynamics. You know, like average peak modulation for an unprocessed signal is about 30% of average peak modulation. And then as you continue to process it, fatten it up. Then it goes your average peak modulation, and I'm talking peak modulation, not just not just average, not just peak modulation, but average peak modulation. That's the key word, average. So as you compress the signal, it gets fatter, and your average peak modulation goes up to around 60-70%, and that makes you sound twice as loud as you do unprocessed. So what I would do is be tasteful about my compression, and I would just take it to a 3. I would be very reserved, but I would put it in, but I would put it in only at a 3, and that plus running your ALC mid-scale to 2/3 will probably take your average peak modulation up into the 65-70% area. Roger?
Roger that. I turned the compression on and I have it set at about 3. Is there any difference there?
Oh, yeah. But you need to consult your ALC. I think you might be hot in your ALC, Roger.
Roger that.
So that should be, if you have a multimeter or something, that should be one of the selections on your multimeter.
Yeah, I have the compression here. I'm trying to get to where I can adjust the ALC.
Yeah, whoever's tuning up, sir, go to another frequency, go to another channel to tune up, then come back. Do not tune up on an operating frequency. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, in the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program, where we air check record from 3:30 till 5 Eastern, then post it up on YouTube. And, gosh, I never did get a name there. W3ABJ, was that?
Correct. That was Whiskey 3, Alpha Bravo Juliet. The name is Al. Alpha Lima, Al.
Roger, Al. Roger, Al. How you doing on finding your ALC?
Oh, I'm fumbling through the menus here. I went from ICOM 7200 to ICOM 7300, so trying to find everything.
Were you running what now? What radio are you running now?
I'm running the ICOM 7300, but before this one I used the ICOM 7200, so trying to find things in the menu here this is new to me.
Roger. Well, I tell you, you might back off, Mike, about 2 inches until you can find ALC, Roger.
Roger that. I appreciate all your help here. I'm going to dig into the manual and get these menus down a little bit better, but I do appreciate your feedback. Roger?
Oh, Roger, yes, and you're sounding beautiful. And your dynamic range is running about 2.5 to 3 dB. When you find ALC, you probably will see you're just maybe a tad hot, so you'll pull her down to a mid-scale to 2/3, Roger?
Roger that.
But it's sounding good where it is. I would take it where it is. But anyway, well, let me say 3s to you, Al. I appreciate the drop by there. And like I say, you can find yourself on our QSO-VLOG page by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. And look for the group session called My Group Aircheck 122118. My Group Aircheck 122118. Roger, that'll be in the title.
Roger that, and 73s, and thank you very much for your help.
Roger, Roger, Al. 3's that away. This is KC9VKV, and welcome to the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program, where we aircheck record from 3:30 till 5 Eastern, and then we put it all up on YouTube so you can come by and check out your audio. This is KC9VKV.
W9ALS, my friend.
Home speed riding, W9ALS. Roger, Roger.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to jump in and say hello again, and you sound great. And I looked at the recording we did, and it was a real good time. I want to thank you.
Roger, when did we do that?
Oh, about 2-3 weeks ago, I think.
Roger that, Roger that. Well, I'm glad you liked it and you could hear yourself, and gosh, your audio is just perfect.
Yep, I had told you about the new setting on the ICOM 7610 here. That was the gain. You could set the microphone and you could set the power, and then you set the gain, and it would drive the amp harder. Remember that?
Yes, I do. One of the revelations in my life. What's the name there?
My name is Al, and I'm in Camden, Alabama.
Roger, Al, that was such a pleasant experience for somebody that knows their radio to give me a drive-by of all the capabilities, and that drive is truly an amazing device. I harp on that. Well, no, harp is not the right word, but I bring that feature out to a lot of folks that have the 7610. That drive can take. You know, where normally most radios end at about a 3 dB dynamic range, that drive can take your dynamic range to a half a dB.
Oh yeah, and then one thing that you can tell them, there's a button on the front of the radio, and it says "Quick," and when they push that in, it'll open up a quick menu, and the drive is right in front of them.
That's for the 7610. That doesn't hold true for the 7300, Roger.
That's right.
They would just so show off on that 7610, you know.
All right, my friend, I just jumped in to say hello and make sure my amp was still working. And you have a beautiful Christmas and a Happy New Year, and God bless you. Have a good day, sir.
Roger, Al, I'm looking at your audio on the newly acquired spectrum analyzer, and you're just beautiful. The top end is just beautiful with the rest of it. It's just straight across. It couldn't be better. But you know, I could tell that by the ear, but it's nice to get confirmation through the spectrum analyzer. So, 3's to you, Al, and we'll catch you later, sir. Have a good afternoon.
All right, we catch you later, and your audio looks good on my spectrum analyzer in the 7610 also, 7.3.
Roger. There was another station out there. Other station, go ahead.
Okay, this is Dan in North Mississippi, Kilo Foxtrot 5, Tango Papa Uniform.
Kilo Foxtrot 5, what's the rest?
Tango Papa Uniform.
The name is Dan, Roger?
Yes, it's Dan. I'm talking to you on an ICOM 7300 using a G5 RV about 35 feet in the air on 100 watts.
Roger. Dan, well, I would jump in that EQ, and I would bring the top-end EQ boost the top-end EQ to about half of its possibilities. If it's a 0 to 5, take it to a 3. Roger?
Okay, thank you for the advice. I'll take a look at that. And where did you say we can go to hear our audio?
If you take a trip to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will be into our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, you will find a session titled My Group Aircheck 12/21/18, which is today's date. My Group Aircheck 12/21/18. Roger?
Roger, I appreciate that. All right, I'll let somebody else get in there. Kilo Foxtrot 5, Tango Papa Uniform, Dan in Mississippi.
Roger, Dan. Thanks for dropping by, and don't be a stranger. We'll be hopefully next Friday, and we'll hear the new Dan Top EQ there. Have a good afternoon, Dan. 3's. This is KC9VKV in the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program where we air check record from 3:30 till 5 Eastern. And then we put the whole thing up on YouTube, so you can come along to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. And that'll take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, you'll be looking for today's recording, which is be entitled to My Group Aircheck 12/21/18. My Group Aircheck 12/21/18. Had about 3 there. Had about 3. My standard reply is loudest one, take it. There's somebody back in there still going on. It sounds like you might be off frequency. You might be a couple of clicks high. Roger?
Overland.
Orlando, Florida.
Go ahead, Orlando. Give me your call sign phonetically, please. I do copy you, sir, but yeah, you're a little high on frequency, so I would suggest that you maybe look at that and give me a shout back. Right now I've got Florida on the line. Go ahead, Florida. Wow, well, it sounds it sounds more on frequency, sir, but I'm only picking you up about 2 dB above my noise level, so I can't really tell much about the audio in that it sounds like it's on frequency now. Roger.
Okay, what is your QTH? Your QTH, over?
QTH is across the street from Louisville, Kentucky. I could take a sneaker and throw it to downtown Louisville. Roger.
Okay, yeah, I usually don't get out to Kentucky very well. I have an NZIS antenna
Roger, Roger. Well, you, Mother Nature did decide to pull the rug out from under you there. You did drop into my noise level for most of that last transmission. Give me your call sign, please. I tell you what, sir, I'm having to use Braille to copy your signal there. I'm using Braille to copy your signal. Now, what I would suggest would be to check your ALC. Check your ALC setting to be sure that you are being all that you can be audio-wise. Go to your ALC with your mic gain in hand and adjust your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 operation on the ALC meter. Roger, Roger. Gosh, I don't know if you're still there or not. Did you copy my last?
Yeah, he said he's running 25 watts.
Two stations doubled. One of them come back.
84 ARK.
ARK station, go ahead.
Kilowatt Echo 4. Okay, Romeo Kilo.
Okay, so you sound high. You sound a couple of clicks high on the frequency. We're at 7189.0000.
Kilowatt Echo 4, Alpha Romeo Kilo.
That sounds better. What's the name there?
The handle is Charlie. We're on the Omni 7.
Roger. And how much power output is that?
We're running 100 watts onto a 600-foot long wire.
600-foot long wire? My goodness, you live in a very exclusive neighborhood.
No, we're around the country. I'm up in Virginia. And I'm out in the country there. Go ahead.
All right, and is that radio you're running? Is it how old is that radio?
The Omni 7 is the 10-tech radio. I think it's one of the last ones they built.
I'm trying to figure out where it went frequency-wise. I think it went low a tad. Can you come up one click?
Is that any better?
One more click up.
How about that?
Talk to me for a minute.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kilowatt Echo 4, Alpha Romeo Kilo.
Just sounds heavy. I'm not real sure what the problem is. Tune to my voice. See if that is what happens when you tune to my voice. I would give you an A, but I'm not a singer. So anyway, you'll just have to figure it out there, and we'll try again. It just sounds a little blurry, if you know what I mean.
All right, sir. Appreciate the comeback, Joe. Appreciate the comeback, Joe. Up in Virginia. To Route 360. Halfway between Houston and Lexington. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. I wouldn't. I thought I knew which way to go with you, but I'm I'm not sure anymore. I am confused. I would find somebody that's got a frequency counter and see if they can zero you in. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Appreciate the comeback there, sir, and I won't hold you. You go on with your practice, man. Appreciate the comeback. This is KE4 at Aircheck.
Roger, sir. 3 is that away, sir, and I'm sure you'll find somebody that'll be able to give you a hand on your frequency situation. This is KC9VKV in the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program, where we air check, record from 3:30 till 5 Eastern, then put the whole thing up on YouTube so you can come along and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that'll take you to the QSO-VLOG page, and on that page you'll be looking for a session entitled My Group Aircheck 122118. My Group Aircheck 122118, which is the recording that we're doing right now.
Kilo Sugar 4 Oscar Tango.
Oscar Tango Station, come back with a call sign again.
Yeah, the call is Kilo Sugar 4 Oscar Tango. Name is Jimmy. I'm located in Georgia, about 80 miles southeast of Atlanta. Over.
Oh, Roger, Roger, Jimmy, and you have perfect audio. What radio are you running?
I've just recently bought this rig. I replaced my Kenwood 990 with this one here, which is a Flex 6600M. Over.
Roger, Roger. Sounds good, sir. Sounds good. Should be proud of that radio, Roger.
Roger, Roger. What kind of rig are you running?
Oh, it's a long story. This is an older, about 30-year-old Yaesu FT990 that's heavily modified, forward and backward, Roger.
Well, I tell you what, it's sounding good on this end. I got you 5.9 plus 10 here in Georgia off my rotatable dipole. Over.
Roger, Roger. Now, are you receiving me horizontally?
Yes, horizontally.
Wow, wow, man. I wish you had a vertical and you could A/B check the difference, Roger.
Yeah, I don't have a vertical. I don't mess with them. I sure don't. But I've got you 5.9 plus 10. You just hit 20 over that time.
Well, that's what I've been looking for. I was wondering where that 20 was. Just kind of like a crap game, you know. You just have to play it by numbers, Roger.
Roger, Roger. You running any horsepower?
Oh, I hope so. Let me go down on the, that's the 100-watt scale. LO 1, 2, 3, 4, 100-watt scale, and that's the other scale, Roger.
Yeah, I could tell a big difference. I'm running a kilowatt here on a solid-state amplifier. Over.
Roger, Roger. Now tell me about your solid-state amplifier. Do you manage to stay out of trouble with that amplifier?
No problem. I just hook it up anything 40 through 6 meters. All I do is turn on what frequency I want on the radio and key up and talk. No tuning. Over.
Oh, absolutely. You know, they got them now where you don't even have to say what frequency it is. The radio, I mean, the amp knows what it is and solids forth to the right setup.
Yeah, that's what mine does. When I turn the radio on, I'm on 10 meters, and I go to 20, it automatically goes to the frequency where I'm at, and I just key up and talk. Over.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, man, that's a great thing. And, you know, that has a lot of interesting aspects to it for our visually challenged ham operators. They don't have to tune, you know, they can just run their radio. If they can figure out how to run the radio, the amp will follow it, Roger.
Roger, Roger. I guess as long as you got anything under 3-to-1 SWR, which all mine is either 1.5 and below, and it works really well. It's on I got an Avasa 5 beam is what I run, and the 40 meter rotatable dipole is right up under it. And it's the same JK antenna, and the one that does 20 through 6 meters has got 12 elements on a 13-foot boom, and it's got its own director and reflector for each band, so it's like a 2-element monobander on 20-6. Over.
Roger, roger. Well, it definitely is doing you a great job right now, for sure. And if you want to hear yourself, if you go to we are recording, and we'll be recording till 5 this afternoon. So if you want to hear yourself and that beautiful audio of yours, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that'll take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, you'll find one of our sessions titled My Group Aircheck 12/21/18. My Group Aircheck 12/21/18. Roger?
Roger, roger. Can I check that after 5 p.m.? Will that be okay?
5 p.m. 2 days from now. It takes us a couple of days to be able to get it uploaded, Roger. I hate to say sooner, so I just say 2 days, Roger.
Okay, no problem. Well, I tell you what, this sounding good over here. I was kind of curious about my microphone because the Flex come with a hand mic, and I just bought this desk mic from them, and I was hoping that the audio was sounding okay. Over.
Roger, now, let's see. Does it have top-end EQ on it, Roger?
Say again?
Does your radio have top-end EQ?
I'm not really sure. Like I say, I just got this thing, and I've just been playing with it, trying to figure out what it does. Over.
Well, it's entirely runnable right now. It's just beautiful right now. It could stand a little top in the upper range, and just maybe a couple of clicks on the bottom range to mellow it out just a tad. But it's beautiful as it stands, Roger.
Oh, okay, yeah. On the transmit and receive equalizer, it does have them in there. Over.
Roger that. Now, are you? Do you have a capability to select your width?
Yes, I do.
And I would suggest running always in the widest width possible. I mean, I don't see any reason for anybody to restrict their bandpass, Roger.
That's exactly the way I run it, sir.
Roger, roger. I just can't imagine paying good bucks for a radio to run it like 1954.
Yeah, you said that right. So you say this video will be available in about 2 days?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it'll be by 2 days. It'll be there, Roger, roger.
Okay, what's your handle again?
Name here is Jim Juliet India Mike, and again, the call sign that you'll need for YouTube is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Roger?
Oh, yeah, Jim. Okay, well, I tell you what, it sounded good. Let me jump on off and see if somebody else wants to do a thing. Also, Jim, my name is Jimmy, and he really enjoyed this. You're definitely on frequency. It's dead on 7189. The other two gentlemen was kind of off, but the first one you was talking to that you said that you was using Braille, he wasn't running but only 25 watts. Over.
Roger, roger. Yeah, he was running neck and neck with my noise level, Roger.
Roger, roger. You're steady 20 over now, Jim. Let's jump on out. I heard somebody in between transmissions say QRP. Thanks for picking me up, Jim. Hope you and the family have a great Christmas and a prosperous New Year, but most of all, good health in the years to come, sir. 73 from Georgia. This is Kilo Sugar 4 Oscar Tango.
Roger, roger, Jimmy. 3 is that away, sir. Have yourself a good afternoon and down the road of a Happy New Year and a Merry Christmas, sir. 3's to you. And that other station that's doing QRP, come back, we'll listen. QRP station, you are below my noise level. I could faintly hear you, but my meter was not moving, so you were definitely below my noise level. Roger.
It's a beautiful radio. You'll love it.
Heard something about you'll love it. That's all I caught out of that last transmission. So I'll tell you what, maybe later on, if my signal comes up a bunch more to you, that'll mean that we'll have better conditions, and then you could try again on the QRP. So we'll say 3s for now, and we'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV and the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program, where we air check record from 3:30 till 5 Eastern, and then put it up on YouTube so you can come by and take a listen to it. This is KC9VKV. There was about 5 or 6 that time, but nobody stood out to be able to copy their call sign.
Kilo Golf. Try this. Kilo Radio 8 Tango.
Lima Charlie Radio.
Again, the same thing. There were some big ones in there. Strong one. Take it.
Kilo Radio 8 Tango.
I got Tango. Something Tango?
Kilo Radio 8 Tango. Record near Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay, we got a case here. There's a Tango station there that came back, and I want to talk to him. First, we have to find out what the call sign is. A Tango station. Come back phonetically with your call sign.
Okay, Kilo Radio 8 Tango.
Kilo Radio 8 Tango. Kilo Radio 8 Tango. Is that a Roger?
Yeah, Kilo Charlie.
Okay, sir. Now your audio needs a little work, sir. I would suggest. Do you know where your ALC is?
Yeah.
I would suggest going to your ALC and see where we are there. Maybe you have recently replaced a microphone or something. I think your level is pretty low. So if you go to ALC and check it, in transmit, you should be in mid-range to 2/3 on that ALC meter.
Yeah, that's where I am. Just 2/3, sometimes peaks a little higher than that.
Roger, Roger. Okay, so now we're talking about dynamic range, and if you would like to be just a little bit louder, if you went to your compressor, if you went to your compressor and did about a 3 on your compressor, that would start to fatten your signal up to kind of try to reduce your dynamic range, which makes your average peak modulation much higher, and therefore a much seemingly louder, fatter audio. Roger?
Oh, yeah. Well, I wasn't running the compressor. How's that? Make a difference?
It's starting to, and you're sure your ALC is mid-scale to 2/3?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I almost peaked over that time, but yeah, it's peaking 2/3, maybe a little more.
Okay, so what kind of mic are you running, sir? And what kind of radio?
It's Flex 5000. The mic is an ATR 30.
Roger. It looks like we may be having some conditions shifting around there, Roger.
Okay.
I'm sorry, we doubled for the last part of that. I was saying it looks like we may have some conditions kind of ups and downs in there, Roger.
Yeah, a little while ago I couldn't even hear you. Did you switch the antennas maybe 10 minutes ago?
No, I only have one inverted V, sir, and it's 35 feet and a 45-degree angle, so it's probably as close to omnidirectional as you can get. We do work well from up in Canada to down towards Florida, and from New York to out west there. So it is fairly omnidirectional, Roger.
Yeah, and we're fairly close. I'm up by Grand Rapids. So about 15 minutes ago, it's like you hit a switch or changed antennas. You went from noise level and not hearing it to 20 over, and you've been holding that pretty good lately.
Oh, I did hit the switch there. Just I do it occasionally just to show folks, what 100 watts sounds like to me, if that's what they're running. So I'm running right out of KW now, and then I drop down to about 100 watts. So this is 100 watts, and then we're back to the KW. Roger, Roger.
Yeah, and I heard you do that before too. You drop down to about an F8 when you're on 100, and 10 to 20 over.
when you're on. So something in the band just really jumped a little while ago. Up until then, I could just barely hear you. It took me quite a while to get your call sign, and then all of a sudden, click, something went. So, hey, okay, Jim, I'll let you make a few more contacts. I appreciate the feedback. KRAT.
Roger, Roger. And if you'd like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube within the next couple of days and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and then that'll take you to a QSO-VLOG page, and on that page you look for a session entitled My Group Aircheck 12/21/18. My Group Aircheck 12/21/18. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. Okay, I'll do that. I appreciate you putting that on YouTube. I'll look for it. Talk to you later. KRAT.
Roger, Roger. And what was the name there? I never got your name, sir.
It's Rick. Romeo India Kilo. Romeo India Charlie Kilo. And I'm just outside Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Roger, Roger. And yeah, we're just beside Louisville, Kentucky, on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. So three's Rick, and we'll catch you later, so have a good afternoon. And a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year if we don't cross paths before then. Threes. This is KC9VKV.
Kilo Echo 8, India Lima Kilo. Charlie, radio.
India Lima Kilo.
Okay, this is Kilo Echo
Romeo Lima Charlie.
Lima Kilo.
Very good. You have a beautiful signal. You're almost 15-20 over.
Still trying to catch the India Lima Kilo station. Others, stand by just a moment. India Lima Kilo. I come back with the whole sign phonetically, please. Gosh, India Lima Kilo, the bottom just fell out, so you are into my noise. So let's try it one more time, see if Mother Nature smiles on it this time. This is KC9VKV.
This is Kilo Echo 8, India Lima Kilo. Gary in Michigan.
Roger, Gary in Michigan. Well, listen, the QSO gods did smile that time, Roger.
Hey, you're coming in here 5'9" on my 100 watts and a wire, so the wire's working, over.
Oh, yeah, Roger, Roger. I think it's plugged in. Yeah, for a while there, I was wondering, Mother Nature was not being very helpful, Roger.
I understand you're new to Louisville, Kentucky, over.
That is a Roger. Man, I am catching some blow-by. I'm catching some low-frequency blow-by. I'm familiar with catching some top-end from time to time, but low-frequency blow-by, that's quite unusual. Well, I'm sure we're giving as good as we're getting. So this is KC9VKV. And Gary, go ahead, sir.
KC9VKV, this is Kilo Echo 8, India Lima Kilo. I'm located in Buell, Michigan, which is the southwest part of Michigan, between Grand Rapids and Holland, about 10 miles from Lake Michigan. We're 35 degrees right now and overcast. A nice early winter day, though. Over.
Roger, Roger. And you're running 100 watts, is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger. I'm running an Icon 7300 barefoot into a 150-foot piece of end-fed wire at 10 foot off the ground. Over.
Roger, Roger. Well, if that's a 7300, I would suggest that you go to EQ and crank in on the top end about half of your possibilities. About half of your possibilities on top end EQ. Roger, Roger. Boost.
Oh, Roger. I'll check into that. I'm kind of a new ham, so this radio is kind of new to me, but I'm playing with it more and more. Over.
Roger that. Well, you have the radio of the hour. That is the most beautiful radio. That and the 7610 are the champs of the hour. Great radio. They have a great limiter in there. You can push that limiter a little bit, and it'll still. It's like that watch keeps on ticking. It's a great limiter. So you know, if you pass by ALC, just be sure that you're running mid-scale to 2/3. You could on that radio run just a little bit hotter, but 2/3 is a good area to run it in, and a little more top end EQ, and you should sound just perfect. Roger.
Roger, Roger. I'll check into that. I do have an Elmer that just got one of these, and he's really learning it. So, he can help me out. I'm technically challenged, over.
Roger, Roger. Well, aren't we all, sir? I'll say 3s for now. And you know the procedure to get to your air check?
Roger, I heard you previously, and I've been on YouTube already and checked it, and I definitely checked myself out on it. 2 hours on YouTube.
Roger, Gary, noise got you that time. You did sync down. But just to be sure, go to YouTube and the call letter search KC9VKV. And the section you're looking for is my group Aircheck 122118. Roger, Roger.
This is very interesting, Jim. There's a lot of other calls I want to talk to you.
Roger, Roger there, Gary. Well, I have a little trim pot, a little audio trim pot that's about 2 inches away from my toggle on, toggle off talk button. And so I do ride level on everybody coming in. I do ride audio level on all signals coming in. And but instead of going all the way up to, I am looking at a VU meter, and instead of turning it all the way up to 0 when there's no audio there, I just take it up to like a -4 or 5, and you can hear, if there's anything there, you'll hear it, but your ears are not going to be torn off by channel white noise at 0 level, because if there's nothing there, there's no sense looking for it. Anyway, Gary, 3's otherwise, sir. You have a real good afternoon, and we'll catch you maybe next Friday. You might have a little bit better conditions. We'll say 3's for now. Merry Christmas if we don't see you next Friday. This is KC9VKV in the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program. We Aircheck record from 3:30 till 5 Eastern, then posted up on YouTube so you can hear what your station sounds like. KC9VKV.
Romeo Lima Charlie, Radio Lima Charlie. Kilo Delta 2, Papa India India.
Papa India India. Papa India India. Come back with your call sign phonetically, please.
Kilo Delta 2, Papa India India, Paul in Rochester, New York.
Roger, Roger, Paul. What's going on this afternoon?
Hey, Jim. I'm just trying out this $20 hand mic that I got. I'm running a Kenwood TS830S 100 watts into a full-wave delta loop. My ALC is about 2/3, and my compression is peaking at around 10 to 15 dB, and I wanted to compare it to my desk mic, MC50 desk mic, to see how it compares.
Roger, Roger. Well, I'm getting a little blow-by from a co-channel, adjacent channel, and also somebody was in there with about a 50 cycle signal. It's kind of interesting. In a mod, if you're into that kind of thing. But yeah, go ahead and shift over, Roger, Roger.
You want me to change frequencies or switch mics?
Switch mics. We're here for the duration.
Okay. Switching mics. Stand by. Okay, this is Kilo Delta 2, Papa India India on the MC50 desk mic. ALC is still at about 2/3 swing, and compression is at about 10 dB.
All right, my first impression is that this microphone here has a little bit better top end, bottom end, a little bit more bottom end than the other mic. Roger?
Roger that. Well, I would expect as much. The hand mic was only $20 on eBay, but I'm trying to sell this rig, and I need a mic to go with it, and the desk mic is going to someone else.
Roger, Roger. So you'll be selling it with the hand mic?
I'll be selling it with the hand mic, correct.
All righty, then I would, in both instances, I think you could probably use with about 3 clicks bottom end boost, Roger.
Okay, would that be by turning up the compression a little bit, or the mic gain?
Be EQ? EQ, Roger.
Oh, this is an old hybrid. It doesn't have any menus or anything like that. It's just a tube rig.
I got you. Well, gosh, well, it did. You know, it is what it is, and it sounds intelligible. It's not muddy, for sure. Roger.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Thanks for the feedback on that.
Roger, and you can hear what it sounds like if you go to YouTube in the next couple of days. We'll post this up on YouTube so you can hear yourself and hear those two mics, Roger.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Roger. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and that'll take you to the QSO-VLOG page, and once there, you'll look for a session entitled My Group Aircheck 122118. My Group Aircheck 122118. Roger? Roger. 3 away, sir. You have a real good afternoon. This is KC9VKV in the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program.
Victor Echo 3, Mike Echo Uniform.
Echo 3 station, come back with the call sign, please.
Kilowatt 3, Romeo Lima Charlie, Radio Lima Charlie. My handle is Bob Baker, Ocean Baker. They were up in northeastern Pennsylvania there, Roger.
Well, Bob, you persisted, sir. You got it. And that call is Kilo 3, Roger, Lima, Charlie, Roger?
Yeah, it's Romeo, Radio Lima, Charlie. And you're 20 over. Beautiful signal up here in northeastern Pennsylvania. I'm right on the New Jersey line, Roger.
Roger that, sir. And let's see, what radio are you running, sir?
I'm running an old antique. I think this thing was through the Civil War. So don't go too hard on me today. It's the TS-860, Roger.
Roger. Well, I'm not familiar with that. What is the vintage of that radio?
80s, probably middle 80s, early 80s, and the mic's just an MC43S hand microphone, so nothing too tremendous here. I'm reconfiguring the other bench where I have a brand new GX3000 sitting there, which I know that sounds good.
Roger that. So you're just kind of checking out the older rig today, Roger?
Into your tap-in there, but I've been trying a few times. There's some big guns, so I couldn't get in. But no, I probably shouldn't sound all that bad.
Roger, Bob. Well, it sounds good, sir. I think I think it's still got some years on it, Roger.
Well, that's impressive. What's my signal?
Well, let's see. I can't give you a real S-meter reading because we're running reduced RF. We're running below compression on the front end so we can get the cleanest possible recording. So I'm looking at your signal on the audio output on a VU meter, and I adjust the VU meter for 0 level on your voice, and then when you're not talking, I have a noise level, a residual noise level, so you were 5 dB above my residual noise level, Roger?
Oh, well, I'll take that. I'm using an R7 vertical. And I do have the processor on this rig, and I'm going to turn it out. You tell me if it helped me out or not, Roger.
Well, it was helping you out. It was keeping your dynamic range somewhere around 4 dB, and then when you took it out, you became very unprocessed, Roger.
No, I haven't taken it out there. I just took it out.
Roger. Well, I'm just wondering, when it was in, could you tell the difference on your ALC reading?
Not really. Not a whole lot. Well, if you're not familiar with this rig, so it's kind of, there's no way to switch into the ALC from the front panel.
Oh, you can't bring up the ALC reading?
No, not on this one. It's a basic. It's the same radio as the GS140. Roger?
Okay, so since we don't have an ALC meter to contend with, crank that mic gain on up and we'll see if it cries uncle.
It's all the way up, max. It's maxed out and the processor's on.
All right. Well, I would bring the compressor up to max then. Let's see what happens there.
There's no volume. There's no pot. There might be one on the chassis, but there's no way to adjust the processing level off access from the front panel. It's either in or out, Roger.
Roger. That's a desk mic, Roger.
No, I'm using a hand mic, and I did lie to you. That I forgot. There is an ALC position, and I'm ALC-wise, I would say it's out of the range of the meter, so I'm hitting it as hard as I possibly can.
When you say out of range, on the high side or the low side?
On the high side, it's maybe 5 to 10 above the high, above the end of the scale.
Roger. Well, my duty says bring it down, but my heart says go for it.
Leave it alone. If it works, don't fix it, Roger.
I didn't say that, but yes.
All right. Well, hey, there's a ton of guys in there. I imagine a few of them might walk away a little unhappy with your
Bravo Tango
evaluation of their audio, but hey, everything's subjective, Roger.
Oh, that's a Roger there. That's a Roger. I would run that radio just like that. Run it just like that. So we'll say 3s for now, man. Thanks for checking in, Roger.
Yeah, put me on there for the numbers. I appreciate it. And had a ball. Took me a few tries to get you, but at least you finally heard me. 73 KC9VKV. Enjoy your holiday. K3RLC. Bye-bye.
Roger. And you can find yourself on YouTube in a couple of days by doing the call letter search, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and then on the QSO-VLOG page, My Group Aircheck 122118. My Group Aircheck 122118. Roger?
Yep, Roger. I'm sure a bunch of guys will be tuned in. 7-3.
Roger, Bob. 3's that away. And there's a VT or something.
Roger. Whiskey 3, Bravo Tango, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Roger. Whiskey 3, Bravo Tango. And what's your location?
15 watts. It's giving me 200 out. And not worried about all of that. I just want to know if it's legible. We have been using my backup radio up until today. I put this back in line, and I have so many great grands up and down from time to time, and they just stick the how would you say, the little hands up underneath the plastic. And so without my manual handy right now, I just want to see if I'm legible, and I have a good page on QRZ with all the antennas and stuff I used to have when I was 79. I got rid of everything, and I'm going to give you your microphone back and listen for my compliments or corrective criticism. I'm using a Tar Heel antenna, 40 feet in the air on a chimney mount on my radio on my house. It's a 40 alpha. It'll take the 1.5 kWPEP, but I don't run that. I got it just because it will follow me with the brain box everywhere I go from 40 through 10. I did not put on the long stinger. So thank you for your time and patience. God bless you and the family, and a very excellent Christmas to all in the entire household. I'm listening. Whiskey 3, Bravo Tango.
Roger. What's the name there, please?
The name is Julian, July Uniform Lima, India Alpha November. A lot of guys ask me, where'd you get that name? I said, my father named me. He was born in 1895. So we have just assumed that when he came along, slaves just, they named you whatever.
I'm a junior. My son is the third. My grandson is the fourth. And hopefully he'll name one of his sons if he has one to keep the name going. July Uniform Lima, India Alpha November. Back to you.
Oh, Roger, Julian. Well, you went down towards my noise level there, and but you really good signal before then. So, and your audio is perfect. No need to do anything there. You know, I would say you got it going on. If you want to hear it, some of the earlier transmissions were nice. If you go to YouTube in the next couple of days and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that'll take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, you'll find a session entitled My Group Aircheck. My Group Aircheck 12/21/18. Roger, Roger. Roger, Julian. Yeah, that's the call sign, KC9VKV. So I got a landline right now. Got to run, so I'll catch you later. 3 is Roger. Yeah, I do have a landline, but I'm not answering it. It's probably Microsoft, hey, from India. I wonder how many people get calls from Microsoft in India. I don't think Microsoft has got an office in India, but they still keep trying. So anyway, yeah, we just took our outboard limiter off, so we're running unlimited on the outboard limiter right into the secondary internal limiter. Everything looks a little bit louder. Let me go back to the other limiter here. Hang on just a second. And we're back to the internal limiter, which audio check. We're working pretty good. This is KC9VKV in the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program. If you want to hear what your radio sounds like, give us a call. We are recording Aircheck from 3:30 till 5 Eastern. And so if you want to hear what your radio sounds like, give me a shout.
Victor Echo 3, Mike Echo Uniform, November.
There's an Echo 3 station. Go ahead.
Victor Echo 3, Mike Echo Uniform, QSO.
Victor Echo 3, Echo Sierra, Roger.
Mike Echo Uniform, Mike Echo United.
I appreciate this. When you look, you'll see one antenna on my roof.
Gosh, I'm getting some blow-by here, and really need that call sign back again. Victor Echo 3, slowly, please, sir.
Victor Echo 3, Mike Echo Uniform, Mike Echo United, Mike Echo Uniform.
I got you, sir. What's the name there?
Name is Mike India Kilo Echo.
Roger, Mike, and where might you be, sir?
We're just south of Toronto in Ontario, Canada, a city called Hamilton, QSO.
Roger, Roger. Now, my kingdom from somebody from Montreal. I have a mantra that says we're 25 over from Montreal to Miami and New York to New Mexico. But I can't find anybody in Montreal. Do they really have ham operators in Montreal?
There's been a few, actually, that I've heard just as of late that I've never heard before. So, yes, there are a few there.
Well, all right. I'm going to be a believer when I hear one.
Roger, Roger.
So tell me, Mike, what's your radio, sir?
The radio here is just an old ICOM 751 barefoot. I'm a little bit of a sound engineer myself. I've done a lot of recording of my own music and bands I've been in, but it's running into a 12-channel Behringer just with a studio condenser, and that's it, just right into the radio.
Roger, Roger. Well, you say you're running 100 watts?
Oh, just barely. Probably about 90 watts.
Wow. Well, you're a good 15 dB over my noise level. 15 dB over my noise level. Roger, Roger.
Roger,
Roger, Roger on the 15 dB. You're based at a 15 dB over my noise level. So it could be the then-fed half wave that I just put up. It seems to be doing the trick with the 49-to-1 transformer QSO.
Roger, Roger. We got great signal, great audio. I wouldn't change that audio for nothing. Sounds really, really good. And if you go to YouTube, you can hear it. Go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and that'll take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on the page, look for a session called My Group Aircheck 122118. My Group Aircheck 122118. Roger?
Yeah, Roger, Roger, James. Thank you very much for the QSO. KC9VKV from VE3MEU. Take care, and thanks for doing this. It's much obliged.
Roger, Roger. Beautiful signal. Beautiful signal. Good to hear our Canadian friends. Go over there in Montreal and wake some of them hams up and tell them to get on the air Friday afternoons around 3:30 to 5 and give me a shout so I can make sure I am, in fact, getting to Montreal. Even though I say I am, I think I should be. I think, you know, I'm hitting all around at 20 overs and 15 overs. So I think I'm getting to Montreal, but I'll hear it when I believe it. 3 is that way, sir, and we'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV and the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG program. If you have a radio you want to check the audio on, give me a shout. We are recording.
Kilo 84,
There's about 4 stations. The loudest one, take it. Now, there's a total lack of confidence. I expected 4 times more stations coming back than was the first time. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. Somebody, somewhere, give me a shot. Now, I did hear one that I didn't hear before. Unfortunately, there was 4 others in the same area. So that lone voice, come back and try it again, please.
Kilo Mike 4, Delta, Kilo Quebec.
Kilo Mike 4, I believe it was.
Roger, Kilo Mike 4, Delta, Kilo Quebec.
Yes, sir. What's the name there, please, sir?
Hey, Roger, the handle here is Cliff, Charlie Lima, India, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. Roger, I have you loud and clear at Newport News, Virginia, over.
Roger, Cliff. Now, the question is, can you hear me barefoot over there, Roger, Roger? I did, well, let me go back. Could you hear me barefoot? Hello, Cliff?
Yeah, Roger, standing by.
Cliff is being summoned by the powers that be.
I don't hear anybody.
No. I already did it. This is the KW, and this is 100 watts, and I was asking, could you hear 100 watts?
Yeah, Roger, I can hear you 100 watts. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, Roger.
Roger, Cliff, Roger. So, what's your antenna system over there?
Roger, it's off-center fed dipole, Carolina Windrum, about 56-foot variety, over.
Roger that. Well, it's doing you a good job, sir. How long you been running that for quite a while, or what?
Yeah, Roger, I'm pretty new at this. I've only been in ham radio for about 4 years, so yeah, I've been running this antenna since then, over.
Roger. Well, you know, if you've been in ham radio for 4 years, you know as much as anybody else, except they're just theorizing, Roger.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a Roger, but yeah, I'm still a little short-suited when it comes to a lot of electronic information. I'm just trying to struggle through it, if you know what I mean, over.
Oh, Roger. Well, you're doing a good job right now, sir. I tell you, you got those megacycles and kilocycles and all that stuff going in the right direction, Roger.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's good. The set is the transceiver TS2000 Kenwood. I've been happy with that. That covers a lot of the bands,
Boy, I'll tell you, I can't wait till 10 meters comes back. You think it'll ever come back?
I don't know. I really don't know. You know, it's interesting you should say that. I spent my first 2 years as a tech marooned on 10 meters, but it was something else. I was talking to California every day with 20 overs for 2 years. Roger, Roger.
Roger on that. That's what happened to me 4 years ago. 10 was pretty good to me as a tech, so that's where I really started to love 10 meters over.
Roger, Roger. Now, I was lucky enough, you know, when I first wanted to be a ham radio operator, you know, the first thing you do is you start looking for your radio. Even while you're studying to be a technician, you are looking for radio. And there was this guy on the internet that had this radio that I ran across it when I saw it. He had pictures. Boy, did he have pictures. It was a Drake TR4C. That's a 2-box set, Drake TR4C, and he must have had 7 or 8 pictures of this beautiful radio on the internet, and he wanted to sell it, you know, and I ran across that, and I knew instantly what every knob on that radio did, and I had never had an experience with a ham radio 1, you know, but I knew what that radio did, and I knew that that was the radio I had to have, and I tried to get a hold of that sucker for at least 3 weeks, 7 or 8 times, and he would never return my inquiry. So after the fact, I figured that he had already sold the radio, and he didn't want to be bothered with having to reply. But anyway, you know, I was still trying to get a hold of him to get that TR4C, because I just had to have it. I studied there for, about 4 weeks, and finally figured I knew I was doing the QRZ test, you know, and I would take that test 3 or 4 times a day. Must have took that test 100 times. You know, they had 3 or 4 different tests. I must have took those tests 3 or 4, those 3 or 4 tests at least 100 times. You know, I knew the, you know, all 4 tests inside and out. And so I went and took my test and passed. And as I was leaving, I turned at the door and asked my examiner, engineer, FCC examining folks, if any of them might know where I could find a Drake TR4C for sale. And one of those examining engineers said, you know, I've got a deal you can't refuse. I've got one I'll give to you. And believe it or not, he did give it to me. It had been in mothballs for 10 years. He brought it over, and over a 3-day period, we put 75-watt light bulbs in series with the AC to bring it up very slowly. And the first day, you know, we had it turned on with one 75-watt lamp in series with the AC. Next day, we added another 75 in parallel with the first one. And the third day, another 75. And on the 4th day, Skip was rolling. And he had, you know, said, you know, tomorrow you'll be able to run it. So tomorrow came and Skip was rolling, and I took those lamps out of series and let that go straight on in, 110 volts full power. That radio was chomping at the bit. I was ready to plug a microphone in there and start doing me some QSOing and DXing and all that kind of stuff. And would you believe it? But on the Drake TR4C, they used a military 3-conductor plug, a jack, on the frame. So I had I just had a stereo plug on my mic to plug in. I'd never checked that. I had never run across a military 3-conductor jack, which is you know, like a core, very small, much smaller than a regular stereo jack. So I said, oh gosh, and this Skip was just rolling, taking my head off. So I said, I got to do something. So I went down to Radio Shack quick as I could, and I got me a standard stereo 1/4-inch jack, and come back, and that was the first modification to that TR4C. I pulled that military jack out of there and put that stereo jack in, plugged my mic in, and I was talking DX, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Boy, I tell you, that's a good tale. That's a good story there, that's for sure. Especially that FCC guy with that unit.
Oh, Roger, Roger, there are miracles. There are true miracles in this world, you know. You just have to be receptive to them, Roger.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, thanks for picking me up there. And I didn't catch your name.
The name here is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike. Roger?
Okay, Jim, Roger. Well, thanks for picking me up. Over.
Roger. Well, before you go, I want you to tell me a little bit about your antenna, Roger.
Yeah, okay, it's that Carolina Windrum I told you about.
All right, and you've been running that? Yeah, you've been running that for quite a while, Roger.
Yeah, I have.
Roger. Well, I'm not familiar with that. My Elmer talks to me about that. He's a younger guy. he talks about that Carolina Windham, and I just, well, okay, but I never have quite sat down and followed him real close on that. I'll have to do that, Roger.
Yeah, it's pretty versatile. I didn't make it. I bought it and just hung it up, and one end is in a tree and the other's on a wooden pole about 25 feet above the garage.
Roger. Well, it's doing you a great job. It is doing you a great job. So, Cliff, we'll say threes for now, and you have a good weekend there, and thanks for dropping by, and hopefully maybe you'll join us next Friday between 3:30 and 5. Roger.
Roger, Tim. Appreciate it. This is KM4DKQ 73.
Roger, sir. This is KC9VKV. We're getting ready to turn into a pumpkin at 5 o'clock, but maybe we can take another quick call if somebody wants to get a quick air check. It's KC9VKV.
Kilo India 4, Sierra Oscar Mo.
Kilo India 4. Kilo India 4. Come back with the call sign phonetically again.
Kilo India 4, Sierra Papa Oscar in the mobile.
In the mobile? Whereabouts are you mobile?
Greenville, North Carolina.
Ooh, now tell me that mobile is just running 100 watts.
Roger, running 100 watts. You got it. It's the ICOM 7000 with a ham stick, and I've got a feeling you're going to give me a good signal report.
Well, I tell you, Mother Nature is kind of ups and downs, but there for a while, you were giving me a 10 over my noise level, Roger.
At a traffic light, so maybe it'll be a little different once I get moving here a little bit. But it's just remarkable. I get great signal reports, and I have done nothing special. And it's just been working fantastic for me. So very strong into eastern North Carolina. Sounded fantastic. Back to you.
Roger. Now, what's the name that way?
Uniform Lima, Paul. Coming out of Oak Island, just heading up here to Greenville. Spent some holiday time with my son. Lives here. He lives about a mile and a half from the antenna farm for Voice of America. The antenna farm by Greenville, North Carolina. Here, Roger.
Roger that. Well, Mother Nature's doing her best to confuse the situation. She's doing 30 and 40 dB fades and then comes back. So I think she's drinking again. She lacks focus. Mother Nature, get yourself together and get that conditions going. Roger.
Roger that. Hey, thanks for picking me up and thanks for running the net. I sure do appreciate it, and can't wait to hear myself on YouTube there. Hey, you have a great holiday, and again, thanks for the good signal report. This is Kilo India 4, Sierra Papa Oscar in the mobile 73.
Roger, Paul. Sounds good, sir. You got that mobile clicking. Threes that way, so you have a good weekend. And with that, we're 3 or 4 minutes past 5, so I have already begun turning into a pumpkin. I got to get out of here. So we'll say threes for now, and look for everybody next Friday. And for those that managed to check in, again, a reminder, if you will take a couple of days to get this uploaded to YouTube, and then you'll you'll be able to go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that'll take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, look for a session entitled My Group Aircheck 122118. My Group Aircheck 122118. With that, we'll say threes all. Have yourself a great weekend. And this is KC9VKV. We'll be clear.